Hey, what's up everybody? Frank Valkyria, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing another reaction on the BTS boys. You guys asked me to check this reaction of their video, which I think is also cool that they're actually reacting to their video. It also makes sense because nowadays, you know, a way of advertising new music and new stuff is actually through the reactionists, through the people reacting to them. And it's also quite a popular thing, including my channel, that I'm a musician myself and I react to a ton of music, which I've discovered a ton of new artists the last couple of years. So I've done several reactions on the BTS. It's a global phenomenon. They're dearly loved by a gigantic audience called the Army. But anyway, guys, let's go check together their reaction to their video. I see a lot of possibly like milkshakes and burgers. There's a collab somewhere in there. I'm sure like they're gonna come out like in 3 days, like Burger King butter collection or McDonald's butter collection or something like that. At least looks like their way. Anyway, before we go, I reviewed the song yesterday. It's actually a very catchy song, I have to say. Even me, that I'm not necessarily like super drawn by a lot of more commercial pop music, I have to say that the song had a very nice catchy refrain. I really enjoyed the danceable part. I really enjoyed the 80s and early 90s influences of the sounds. And if you're new to the channel, if you're not, you also know that I am very open-minded about music, 360 degrees. So there are not music snobs here on this channel. Anyway, guys, let's see their reaction. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see what's happening.
Let's go.
Let's go.
새로운 로고 바뀌었습니다, 여러분.
나름
BTS 뮤직.
저희도 의견을 약간 냈습니다.
Is this V? Is this V with the hair like this? I didn't know yet, like, because I get confused because I've seen some videos with which he had like colorful hair. I didn't know he had like curly hair, like a little bit like my hair when I, yeah.
약간 마왕 같아.
When I had more hair.
왜 갑자기 뭐 재밌는 일 있었어요? 저 누구예요? 저 정국이야.
Dude, still the smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover, it gets me all the time. I want to know who thought of that. Who thought of that poetry? I need to know.
어릴 때 보던 미국 뮤직비디오 같다. 이런 날 좋았어요. 이게 무슨 범죄를 저질렀길래? 아미들의 마음속에 마법? 절도범? 진짜 미국의 심플하니 좋아요. 나도요. 이게 오히려 이런 게 안 생겨요.
Well, it's sad because I don't know what they're saying, unfortunately. In a way, it would have made sense for the, of course, you know, they're Korean, so it makes total sense. They're speaking their language. It's totally great. But at the same time, because they did a song in English, completely in English, would have been nice probably to have also subtitles on this video to see how they're chit-chatting and perhaps teasing each other on the song. Again, when I hear the refrain, super nice, lovely. I love the retro wave, chill vibe, 80s synths and all that kind of electronic music, you know, from more minimalistic to more commercial, there to more rockish, chill. There's a lot of sonority of that time that I like. I really like this AV based synth that comes in on the chorus again, and I have to say the song grows on you. Some of you suggested but they're Queen's reference, and I agree. Some of the beat here. Well, very specifically, it's just a beat that reminds you a little bit of Another One Bite the Dust, you know? Bum, 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 bum. Yes, very much true.
저 엘리베이터 찍는 거 비밀이 완수해요.
저 버튼이 굉장히 독특한 버튼이에요. 저때 우리 뒤에서 뭐 하고 있었죠? 쌀뜨기 얘기하고 있었죠.
저때 진짜 5일 동안.
아 지우씨 선거 나가십니까? 너 진짜 기자회견 나오고 물건이 하나도 없어.
Feels like I'm watching an 80s movie, and you know what? It's totally fine with me. It's like this song makes me, because also the type of atmosphere makes me think of like weird science, you know, like those great 80s movie. By the way, if you don't know Weird Science, a lot of you young audience, which they love Iron Man, they will be surprised watching the movie. If you love Robert Downey Jr., I wonder how many they get those movie references here. I'm 44, of course. I've been around a little bit longer. I was a kid in the 80s, so, you know, some of this stuff relates also to me, to my childhood, you know, so I love the retro vibe.
근데 너 보라버린데 약간 punk해. 아 저게 이야기가 있어요. 저게 뒤에 크로마키 색깔이랑 너무 겹쳐가지고. 아 그래가지고 약간 보정한 거.
Okay. I actually think this dude, right? Yes, the blonde guy, that one. Wait a sec. Actually, I watched it a few times, and actually, I think this dude right here. Which one is of them? Because now I cannot recognize them. Is this guy, or is the other guy? I think he dances the best. This dude has good moves, man. It really feels like he knows what he's doing. Was this guy? It's like they changed color or something, so I don't know. This is so much like old school rap. It's nice. Honestly, yesterday I didn't see this type of clothing. What's going on with this clothing, eh? This dude right here, like with this. Actually, this is a nice kind of boots. It's like all of a sudden they transformed in like characters from Final Fantasy. It's like this guy here, it seems like the quieter. I don't know, like seems like pretty quiet. I wonder which one is the more rowdy. Also, V is super quiet guy.
저게 그 그릇 뭐야 이게 위에 동화 흰 거 아니야?
아 맞아요. 방탄 유리였잖아. 아니 유리가 아니라 가마 플라스틱인가? 가마 크림.
나 지금 제가 벗어먹는 것만 기다린다 지금.
저거 옛날에 저희 벗어먹은 거 원래 1분 동안 나왔잖아요. 1분이라니 진짜 길게 나왔어요. 아 제가 그래서 호흡을 좀 최대한 짧게.
Again, don't show me this stuff with the butter. That's not how you eat butter, okay? Butter like that is only used in Last Tango in Paris, like I said yesterday. It's funny because I think only few people got that reference of the Last Tango in Paris and butter. Obviously, it's a younger generation. Probably they don't even know of that movie and Marlon Brando in that movie and so on and so forth. Again, like I saw some comments on my original video, like because I asked in the other video, you know, like they're a phenomenon and they reached a popularity that it's quite crazy. And if you want to stick around, we talk a little bit about that. What I asked that it's not that I'm questioning whether, because I say they're not better or worse than other bands. And when I say that, I don't mean to diminish somebody else or diminish them, but it's just a fact. There's so much talent out there. There are so many incredible, talented people, both less famous, more famous, unknown. It's just the way it is. If there is something that I've learned by doing reactions from artists from around the world, is that there is so much talent. There's so much talent from just a normal YouTuber somewhere sitting on his couch doing a cover of a famous song, or like a girl playing guitar somewhere else, I don't know, in Michigan, whatever. There's so much talent. So And also somebody else like, nobody asks why other people are famous, only when it's Korean band that gets this famous. That's also a stupid comment. That's also a silly comment, because nobody's questioning that, at least most people with a little bit of brain, nobody's questioning that, because this level of notoriety is well above famous other people. You know, like you can see right now on the main page of YouTube, there are new artists, rap artists, trap artists, which I also honestly didn't know them, but if we go look at them for a moment, you'll see that at least on the US page, there is like 3, 4, 5 videos of new rap artists or known rap artists, which they barely hit the million view, which is still, it's a lot. You know, you get a million view in a day or two, that's a lot of views. And then, you know, and then you got BTS that in less than one day. Yesterday morning I did the reaction, was like 20 million. Now I'm doing like 20 hours later, like I don't know, I don't even know if it's past 24 hours from yesterday actually, and we are like past 100 and more millions. So of course it is a phenomenon, and of course you ask yourself the question, how did that happen, you know? And of course there can be so many reasons, and you guys says the personalities, and I agree, I actually agree when many of you said like the personalities, and then even though I know none of them, or I haven't indulged into get into them because I don't follow their social medias or whatever, but it makes complete sense, because probably they've been so good, also the record label, to advertise the human side of the band, that then they basically endeared them to you through like really focusing more on their personalities, because that's where we build a relationship with, not only with the trend and the hype, which sometimes the hype just happens, you know, happens with there is always moments in times where for whatever reason you have a moment of hype, you know. Take that back in the 90s was huge, you know. My sister had like the room covered with Mark, you know, from one of the Mark, I don't remember his name exactly. He was the, let's say, the cute of the bunch, you know, and they were super popular. Take that in the 90s, you know, like there was like this craze, and then of course, you know, boom, and then after that you had like I don't know, probably 17 Backstreet Boys, you know, also quite some craze. More recently, One Direction. One Direction has been quite a huge band, boy band. I think before BTS, I don't know if they were in conjunction, but I suppose One Direction was a big band already early on in the decade. Correct me if I'm wrong, honestly I didn't really follow that. But there are always moments of those trends which they happen. But here I think there's a different level, because the way they managed to endear them to you, it really created like this more intimate connection with the audience, you know. And probably they're very nice guys, they all have different stories, they all have shared their struggles and coming up, you know, in their lives. And then the more that it's revealed, the more that it's shown, the more vulnerability it creates. The more vulnerability it creates and it's shown, the more they endear them to you. So the only question is whether there was like a completely authentic decision, you know, or there is also a little bit of manipulation from the side of the record label. And that's a legitimate question, you know what I mean? Because of course the entertainment industry, it's made on premeditation. It's not just let's see what works, you know. Nowadays things are really thought through and through really well. So that question, it's pretty legitimate. But then again, the result is this. At this moment, this band, it's completely a gigantic worldwide phenomenon, and so much so that they have a press conference, a global press conference for releasing a song. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. There is a press conference, as if almost like it's a president talking to a country for a release of a song. And honestly, honestly, even though it's pretty remarkable, but it's nothing new. Actually, if you look back at, again, another period of gigantic phenomenon like the Beatles, they did the same. But then again, at the time, it was also the first time. It was very much a different contest. It was really the first time that a band managed to capture such craze back in the 60s. So, like, if you see documentaries where they were touring the US, there's plenty of press conferences, which it was also quite unique. Of course, at the time it made also more sense because that was the only way of introducing a band to a public through the radio or through TV, because those were the only means. Nowadays you have like 10,000 reactors which they will do the reaction, me included, which every bit of audience adds up to proliferate the song to niches of audience here and there. So that part it's covered, and then you have the radio, and then you have YouTube, and then they have their channel and the social media. Personally, I look at this with interest, with curiosity. Again, I'm absolutely open-minded about music, you know. For me, it's totally fine. They're there. It's totally fine with their success. I have absolutely no problem. I can offer my own opinion, my own like criticism if I like something more or less. But that it's just that's it, you know. There is no hatred in it. There is not you know, interest or other than just music and understanding music, because music is what I love. So guys, you can share your thoughts. You know, I've been truly fascinated in this period with this phenomenon, and yeah, if you want me to review some songs, some of those newer songs I actually enjoy more. I've said that yesterday as well, because they're more linear, more straightforward, and for that reason, to me, that they're more appealing, you know. They're less trying to shock you every 5 seconds with a different time signature or change or jump cut or whatever with editing, like you have seen many times, and it makes it way more enjoyable. You get into the song, sticks into your head, and again, even me, I was dancing to this, you know.
버터 먹는 제육 버터 먹는 거만 원래 1시간 정도.
아니 저 버터를 진짜 1분 동안 먹었잖아요.
It's actually they're getting animated here. I would even like to know what they're saying. Like me, he's super quiet. It's like, it really feels like he's the goofy. It's like a little bit like the nerd and goofy. It's like the more introvert but goofy of the bunch, you know. That's really funny, and also because it's my favorite. It's my favorite voice of the bunch. So guys, nice reaction of them reacting. Please go check the other videos. Go check my reaction yesterday. You want to comment? You're super welcome. Always spread love. I'll see you later. You take care. Ciao.